If you have any questions or need one-on-one training or some custom files made for you, this is my contact information, so feel free to reach out via email. You can text me. You could even give me a call. I'd be happy to answer questions or give you more details on the one-on-one training we offer, and as well as if you need custom files made until you are up to speed on how to make them yourself, feel free to reach out and we'd be happy to help you with that as well. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at how to convert an SVG file into a 3D model using your slicer. In this case, we're going to be using Bambu Studio, but what I'm about to show you here in Bambu Studio, you can replicate in really any slicer currently on the market. So let's begin by importing our SVG by hitting Control-I. And we'll go to the desktop here, and we'll hit C and T and open up our can opener SVG that we just created in Inkscape. All right, so when you first import it, it's going to come in 10mm thick always, and it's going to all be the same color as whatever the first layer color is here. Okay, so really the first thing to do is to resize this a bit. So we'll go to the scale tool, make sure uniform scale is turned on, and for can openers, I make them 8mm thick. Okay, and then we're going to turn off uniform scale from here forward. All right. So next thing is to go ahead and go to our Objects tab and begin by naming the various parts of our can opener. So the first part is going to be our back plate, and it is going to be color number 3. And then we'll just move on from there. So this is going to be our hand back, and it is black, so we'll leave it alone. This is our heart, and that's gold, so that's color number 5. And then our nails, that is color 2. And then our hand itself, that is color 4. And our gold jewelry here, that is color 5. And then our details for our heart, that is color 1. And the text is going to be, of course, black. All right, so the next thing to do is to define the thickness of each one of our parts. So we'll come over here to the scale tool, and for the thickness of our text, we will set that at 1. But then the Z height has to be what? It has to be 8 because of our backplate plus half of the thickness of the text. So in this case, it would be 8.5 because the text is 1. So half of 1 is 0.5. Okay, so 8.5. All right, so then we just kind of move on from there. So what is our next option here? Let's start from the top here. Our hand back, let's make that 0.5 mil. Okay, and let's go ahead and set the height of each one of our elements. Our heart is going to be 0.5 mil. Our nails will be 0.5 mil. Now we could change the thickness of all of these at one shot if we really wanted to. The hand we will do at 0.5 mil. The gold we are going to do at 1 mil. We want that to sit proud a little bit. The details we'll do at a half mil. And of course we have our text at a mil. Perfect. So now all we have to do is place all of these pieces in the proper Z order. All right, so for example, our hand back, it is a 0.5 millimeter thick. We see that right there, 0.5. Okay, so for the Z, it would be the thickness of our back plate, which is 8, plus half the thickness of the object that we're looking to move, which is 0.25. Okay, now for the heart, it is sitting on top of black. So it's 8.5 plus half the heart. So our heart is 0.5. 8.5, that should be 8.75. And there you go. Now our heart is sitting on top of our black hand. Okay. Our nails, we know what that should be because it should be the same as the heart. So it's 8.75. Okay. And then, of course, our hand, same thing, 8.75. Okay. And then the gold, now the gold's going to be a little bit different because it's thicker. Okay. So it is twice as thick. So it should be at 9.25 because we had to add a half millimeter to what these were. These are at 8.75, so it only goes to standard reason. We add a half a millimeter, and now our gold is sitting proud here where it should be. Oh, look at there. It's sitting a little bit high. I knew something was off there. Something didn't look right to me. So let's alt click the gold. Let's go back. It is only 1 mil thick, so let's do the math. 8 plus 0.5, that's 8.5, and then half of this, so that would be 9. So I had it at 9.25. It should have been 9. Okay. And now that is sitting at its proper level. And then our heart, we'll leave that at a half mil. That's fine. Okay, so now all of our pieces are set to the proper height. Let's go ahead and slice it, see if we get any kind of error messages. We're getting one error message about the plate boundaries, but that is just our perch tower. That's all that is. Okay, so now that is going to go ahead and slice OK. So we are good to go there. So back to the Prepare tab. All right, so now the only thing that we have to do is cut the hole for our little soda tap. Okay, to do that, we're going to bring in a file that I already have. So it is my can opener boolean. So we type in can. There is the can opener boolean. We're going to import the geometry. We're going to spin this bad boy around. First of all, it's in the wrong orientation here. So we'll spin it around. There we go. And then we can move it, pull it out here, and kind of move it into position. Now what I'd like to do is just kind of rotate this so it kind of matches that rotation. Not entirely necessary, but why not? Okay, something about like so. And then we'll go to the move tool and we'll just slide it back just a little bit. Okay, we want it just peeping out just a little bit there, not too much. That'll work fine. Now, I do want to move it in the Z direction here. So to do that, we have to have this part of our main assembly. So we select our little tab piece here, Shift Control, the main assembly, right click and merge. And then I can move this. Alt click on it, go to the move tool. We're going to set that to 2.75. Just move it up 1 mil. And then we can go ahead and do a boolean. So we'll go ahead and do a mesh boolean. Push everything over here to the left, even the back plate. Come all the way down the list and just move over just the can opener. Now we have just the can opener. Excellent. We can go ahead and execute. And we now have our hole for our soda tab. Okay, so that is how that works. Now, the last thing to do here is just to add our key tag for our keychain hardware. So we have a file for that too. So we'll go to our desktop here and let's just type in key tag. And there's our key tag. We'll go ahead and hit OK. There it is. And we could just move this into place here. Now, the thing about the key tag, and this is your hype chains too, or anything really that we're connecting like that, it only needs to stick out far enough to fit our jump ring. Okay, so it doesn't need to be way out here, just big enough to fit the jump ring, or just big enough to for one hype chain link, right? If we're doing hype chains. So it just needs to stick out a little bit for the jump ring, and that's perfectly fine. That's 4 mil thick. That's plenty thick. So we are good to go there. Now, in order to print this, the key tag, Shift Control, the main assembly, right click and merge. We have to merge those two together in order to get a proper slice. So we're going to go ahead and slice it, and there you go. These little white dots, those are our seams. So that's what it's going to look like when she gets printed out. Now, this doesn't look bad, but there is a way to improve this, and there are several settings when we're dealing with can openers that we should be using. So let's go through those settings real quick, and then we could save that as a new profile, so anytime we're doing can openers in the future, we'll have these settings ready to go. So here's what we do. We go ahead and select our object and begin by supporting enable supports. And right here, we want to do on build plate only. This way, it won't add any supports inside the slot. It's going to want to do that. So by on build plate only, it will not use any supports inside our slot. So we'll take care of that. And then we want to come down here to advanced. And right here for our top Z distance, we want to use 0.28. And then down a little bit farther for interface layers, we'll use 4. That's a good standard for all supports, actually. Now we'll go over to speed, and the only real change here is in bridge. We want to, so let's come down here, scroll down here to bridge, and slow that down to about 20, okay? That's all we need to do on the speed, and then we'll go to our strength tab, and here we're going to add 4 wall loops. Doesn't add much print time, so let's go ahead and do it, and that will 4 instead of 2, which will make this whole thing significantly more sturdy. And then on the quality side, this is the big one. This is the make or break. All of these, 0.25, 0.25, 0.25. Top surface, 0.25. Okay. Now, sparse infill and the rest, don't mess with those. Okay. That will get us taken care of right there. So let's go ahead and reslice it here. You can see it says it's sliced okay. You can see we've got some supports on that lead edge of our slot. But yes, everything else is going to look very, very nice and crisp and beautiful. So there you go. That is our Clock That T can opener. Very, very simple. Once we get our SVG set just so, very easy to turn that into a fun little project here for our can opener. So hopefully that helps you out. And until next time, thanks for watching. If you have any questions or need one-on-one training or some custom files made for you, this is my contact information, so feel free to reach out via email. You can text me. You could even give me a call. I'd be happy to answer questions or give you more details on the one-on-one training we offer, and as well as if you need custom files made until you are up to speed on how to make them yourself, feel free to reach out and we'd be happy to help you with that as well.